Seems like nearly a century ago. I remember in the early years of trick-or-treating when I was a kid, it was sort of wrapping up, like it's never been the same since. And I recall like everyone went trick-or-treating. And I mean, we would go out like deep. At times I remember being like 15 deep. And yeah, we had a parent escort us, but then when we got older, there were times, I remember when I was in a junior high, and my buddy Chris Hall had a twin brother. I remember riding my bike all the way to his house, and it was like 5 miles away. And like we went out and created havoc, destruction. And that was the plan. Like it was the day we could get away with it. And I'm like, I was only a 7th grader or something like that. And we got candy, and I think I was like that punk older kid who didn't even have a costume. I would put like a t-shirt over my face. And even after that, I remember like being the guy who gave out candy, and I remember there were kids that you could tell they weren't from the neighborhood. Like inner city kids would come out and trick-or-treat in our neighborhoods, and that was cool with me. I said, like, let's go out to the wealthy white neighborhoods because they're going to have better candy. And like people would, like, if they weren't home, they would leave candy outside, which was risky. Of course we took it all, but they would leave notes like, please don't destroy my plant, my house, if the candy's gone. Like I will write you a check for later on for candy. But it was good-hearted stuff. Like everyone was having fun, and like there was no like, we'll trash your house if you did not have a pumpkin. We wouldn't smash your pumpkin because like when was the last time someone smashed a pumpkin? We had a goddamn rock band named the Smashing Pumpkins. That's how common it was. And then they got rid of us really quick. They said, they're putting razor blades in apples. And you know what? I saw a Discovery Channel special about Halloween. And it studied Halloween from after World War II. They said it really got popular, where like all the kids are out there dressed up, from princesses to demons to Dracula to whatever. And there was not one single report. This is amazing. This is amazing. I mean, think about all the terror we had and how much candy we did not get because we were all going to get poisoned. But of course they are. They want to kill us again. There was not one single death between 1945 and like 1990 ever for a kid going out and trick-or-treating and eating poison candy, except for one case in like the Midwest in Chicago. And it turns out it was a family member who put tainted candy into the bag of the kid, and they were a family member in their own home. Not one time was there ever a reported case of tainted candy or a razor blade in an apple. That's all an urban legend. Can you believe that? I didn't believe that. And apparently it's a true story. I mean, they wouldn't even let us go out anymore. I remember at the end when they were like, well, we can eat poison now. We've become immune to it. We've been eating McDonald's all day. And then they're like, you can't go out because those gang members are going to do their initiation by flashing their headlights at you? In LA, it was just how it was. And if you flash your headlights back or if you say something to them, you're going to get shot. That's how they're going to initiate the gangs. And like, that's so risky, man, to drive around with packs of kids and parents and just have your kids shoot at our kids to get you into the gang. Like, I would do it late at night or something when there's no one watching. But if that's how you guys want to roll, it never happened. LAPD starts these rumors. It was a wild time, man. It was a wild time. But I do remember, like, it was different than it is nowadays. Like, nowadays, if we get one trick-or-treater, we get excited. We fight for the people. Oh, my God, we get one. And it's like the kid right from next door. Now, I'm not all into, like, I've seen some shit lately. And like I said, I'm not all into getting into just different costumes or dressing up like a transvestite robot and trick-or-treating. That's not even on Halloween that happens here. But, I would think our generation of all generations would be like, you know what, fuck this. I don't care what night it is. I'm going to go. I remember going out on the second night. I really do. I remember going around and going up to people and essentially seeing like, they declared November 1st, another night of trick-or-treating. Like, we really would try to start that. And people were like, really? And because a couple of people didn't know it was Halloween. I remember that. We would go trick-or-treating and they would go, oh, it's Halloween tonight? I didn't know that. That's the one time I got an apple, but there was no razor blade in it. We did not get to eat the apple. We got to eat the candy that was checked. They would literally have you take it to emergency rooms of all places. So if you wanted your candy, you take it to an emergency room where they x-ray it to see if there's any objects or poison in the candy. And at that point, we're just kids. So if they're x-raying it, well, I don't want it anymore. What is wrong? I don't understand what's wrong with you people. You're all freaking out, man. It's like white flight for Halloween, You get all scared and shook up. They've been bringing the inner city kids out here. So what does that have to do with Mrs. McGillicuddy giving me a candy bar? She's going to try to kill you with it. You never know, Don. You never know. Well, apparently you wanted that to happen. I mean, what the hell, man?